Before we begin our class, let us have Brahmanad. Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Swastha. Good morning, children. Today, let us discuss the poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was known as the romantic poet. He was the lover of nature, the worshipper of the nature. He was born in 1770 and passed away in 1815. So what do you mean by daffodils? Daffodils are bell-shaped flowers of golden yellow color and with beautiful fragrance that bloom in early spring and usually by the side of the lakes. And daffodils are not found in Asian countries. They are found in European countries. The poet William Wordsworth one day visited the Lake District of England. In fact, he was born in the Lake District in Cumberland of England in 1770. One day, he visited the Lake District or the countryside of England with his sister Dorothy. And when did he visit the Lake District of England with his sister Dorothy? He visited the Lake District or English countryside with his sister Dorothy in 1802. Actually, the date was 15th April 1802. The poet visited the Lake District of England on 15th April 1802. But he composed the poem in between 1804 and 1807. But the poem was published, this poem, Daffodils, was published in 1815. Now, let me give you some points of the poem Daffodils. How is poetry defined by William Wordsworth? William Wordsworth defines poetry as a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings arising from emotions recollected in tranquility. This is how the poet William Wordsworth defines poetry. I think you have understood. How is poetry defined by William Wordsworth? William Wordsworth defines poetry as a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings arising from emotions recollected or remembered in calmness or in tranquility. Clear? Now, some points of the poem Daffodils. It is a lyric poem. He has written sonnets, he has written also odes, he has written also ballad poems, but it is a lyric poem. The poem incorporates, the poem Daffodils incorporates means includes the idea and aspect to the romantic poetry. He was a romantic poet, as I have already said to you. William Wordsworth was known as the romantic poet. In the history of English literature, this time, our 17th century to 18th century was known as the Romantic Age. And in the Romantic Age, William Wordsworth was first to born and last to die. He lived a long life, as he was born in 1770 and passed away in 1815. So it is said that William Wordsworth was first to born and last to die in Romantic Age. There was also another poet who was born in Romantic Age. He was John Keats, but he lived a short life. That is the reason why it is said John Keats was last to born and first to die. Many poets were born in Romantic Age. I have mentioned two poets. And who were they? William Wordsworth and John Keats. William Wordsworth was first to born and last to die in the Romantic Age, but John Keats was last to born and first to die in Romantic Age. Clear? Then, what is the subject of this poem? The subject of this poem, Daffodils, is indeed the field of daffodils. In this poem, Wordsworth adds a range of natural images such as lakes, lake is, a natural image, trees, stars, even clouds. And how is the atmosphere of this poem? The atmosphere of this poem is very peaceful, and the use of nature creates a joyful setting. Not until the poet later muses, thinks in deep or concentrates about what he saw, does he fully appreciate the cheerful side of the dancing daffodils. In this poem, Daffodils, the poet glorifies the beauty of nature and the bliss of solitude. This is the introduction of the poem Daffodils. Now, let us go through the first stanza of the poem Daffodils. As I have already said to you, the poet William Wordsworth visited the countryside of England, or English countryside, or you can say the Lake District of England, with his sister Dorothy on 15th April 1802. Clear? Here is the first and second stanza that I have written on the board. I wander lonely as a cloud that floats on high over O-V-E-R, over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. See the first line of the first stanza of the poem Daffodils. I wander lonely as a cloud. Here I refers to the poet himself. And who is the poet of this poem? William Wordsworth. Here I refers to William Wordsworth. So what did he do? He wandered. The poet William Wordsworth wandered. Wandered means W-A-N-D-E-R-E-D. It is the past tense of wander, W-A-N-D-E-R. That means moved aimlessly without having any particular destination to go or to visit, then what do we use? We use the word wonder, and in the past tense we use wandered. The poet wandered means moved aimlessly, M-O-V-E-D, moved aimlessly. As he did not have any particular place to go or any particular destination to reach, what did he do with his sister? With his sister, he wandered. I wandered lonely. I think you must have the knowledge of the difference between lonely and alone. He was not alone. He was with his sister. And when I say lonely, what does it mean? It means the mental condition. See, you may be in the midst of 1,000 people. If you cannot adjust yourself, you will feel definitely lonely. And alone means single. Lonely. Here lonely means it was the mental condition of the poet. He was feeling lonely. I wander lonely as a cloud. Lonely as a cloud, it means as a single patch of cloud that floats freely in the sky. Lonely as a cloud. What does it mean? It means as a single patch of cloud that floats freely in the sky. So how did he wander? Lonely? He wandered lonely as a cloud. See, his wandering, the wandering of the poet has been compared with a patch of cloud or a piece of cloud that floats on high over valleys and hills. A piece of cloud, it floats, a piece of cloud floats on high over valleys and hills. A piece of cloud does not have any particular destination to go. Wherever the wind flows it or takes it, it moves on that direction. That piece of cloud or single patch of cloud moves freely in the sky due to the blow of the wind. So what have you understood here? His wandering, the poet's wandering in the countryside of England has been compared with a single patch of cloud that moves freely or floats freely in the sky or on the high over valleys and hills. See, here what do we find? We find the word as. I wander lonely as a cloud that floats on high over valleys and hills. It is a simile. Do you know what is a simile? A simile is a figure of speech. Clear? That makes an explicit comparison between two unlike things by using the words like or as. Let me tell you again the definition of simile. It is a simile, S-I-M-I-L-E. I wander lonely as a cloud is a simile. Why is it called a simile? It is called a simile because the poet's wandering has been compared with a piece of cloud that floats on high over valleys and hills. Here valleys means valleys and hills. Clear? So what is a simile? A simile is a figure of speech. Clear? That makes an explicit comparison between two unlike things by using like or as. We find the word as here. As we find that is the reason. Here we find the comparison of the poet's wandering with what? Moving of a piece of or a patch of single cloud freely in the sky. So the first line is a simile. Clear? So what is a simile? A simile is a figure of speech that makes an explicit comparison between two unlike, dissimilar things by using the word as or like. So here the poet's wandering in the countryside of England has been compared with a patch of cloud that floats on high over vales. Vales means valleys and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, while wandering in the countryside of England or in the Lake District of England, he all at once came across or saw. What did he see? All at once he saw a crowd, a host. Remember, a crowd, a host. These two phrases are used to say that a large number of, both the phrases a crowd and a host are used to express a large number of. Here also I have written a host. What does it mean? A large number of. So what happened when the poet was wandering all alone in the English countryside? While wandering in the countryside of England or in the Lake District of England, he all at once came across a large number of golden daffodils. And where did he come across a large or a crowd or a host of golden daffodils? He came across a crowd or a host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees. Beside the lake. Beside means what? Beside means by the side of. He found a large number of daffodils by the side of the lake. Beneath. Beneath means under. Beneath means under the trees. He found a large number of daffodils blooming by the side of the lake under the trees. And remember, the difference between beside and besides. Beside means by the side of, but besides means in addition or in addition to. Do you know aside? A-S-I-D-E. Aside means to a side. Clear? Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Fluttering means moving to and fro. Moving to and fro. And dancing in the breeze, cool blowing of the wind, is called breeze. So what have you understood? One day, the poet William Wordsworth was wandering in the countryside of England. While he was wandering in the countryside of England, like a piece of cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, he came across all at once. He came across all at once a large number of daffodils, a host, a crowd of daffodils, yellow color or golden color daffodils blooming by the side of the lake, beneath the trees or under the trees. And how did the daffodils that bloomed by the side of the lake and under the trees seem to the poet? The daffodils that bloomed by the side of the lake and under the trees seemed to the poet as if they were dancing. Actually, they were not dancing. The wind made the flowers flutter. Flutter means move to and fro. Move to and fro. Fluttering means moving to and fro. So how did the fluttering daffodils seem to the poet? The fluttering daffodils seemed to the poet as if they were dancing. Actually, they were not dancing. The wind made the flowers move to and fro. But to the mind of the poet, or to the poet's mind, the fluttering daffodils seemed to him as if they were dancing. Clear? Now let us proceed to the second stanza. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Continuous as the stars that shine, the stars shine continuously in the sky, like the stars that shine or twinkle continuously in the sky. The daffodils were also shining and dazzling on the ground or in the field. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle. Here twinkle means glitter or glittering or shining on the Milky Way. Milky Way means what? The broad, luminous band of stars encircling the sky or the galaxy. What do we find in the night sky? We find the stars shining brightly or glittering in the galaxy. Like the stars that shine or twinkle continuously in the sky, the daffodils were also dazzling or glittering in the field. See how he has taken us from the earth to heaven. The daffodils are on the earth and the stars are in the heaven. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stress. Here the pronoun they refers to the daffodils. Daffodils stressed. Stress means expanded. Clear? Stressed in never-ending line. They were innumerable. They were also in a large number, infinite. Clear? That is the reason why the poet here compares the daffodils with what? With the stars in the sky. They stress, here the daffodils, they refers to the daffodils also expanded like the stars that shine and twinkle in the galaxy. In the never-ending line, we cannot say where the line of the stars going to end. Similarly, the poet can't say, standing by the side of the field of daffodils, where the line of the daffodils is going to finish or is going to end. Both are infinite, both are large in number. And at the same time, both were shining and dazzling. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin. Margin, you know, margin means border of a bay. B-A-Y, bay means lake. B-A-Y, bay means lake. Clear? The daffodils expanded in never-ending line like the stars in the sky along the margin of a way. That means the daffodils stretched along the border of a lake. 10,000 saw I at a glance. See, 10,000 saw I at a glance. At a glance means in a view. In one view, he could see 10,000 daffodils. I saw 10,000 what? 10,000 daffodils at a glance. It is nothing but a hyperbole. Hyperbole is also a figure of speech where things are exaggerated. It is an exaggeration. That is the reason why it is called a hyperbole. 10,000 saw I at. He did not count. He could see standing by the side of the daffodils. See, he was standing in such a position that he could see the lake. At the same time, he could see also the field of daffodils. He didn't count the daffodils. The daffodils were large in number. He could not see where the line of the daffodils is going to end as they stretched in never-ending line. The daffodils stretched in never-ending line. They were also countless. Daffodils were also countless like the stars that shine and twinkle in the galaxy. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Tossing, T-O-S-S-I-N-G, tossing means touching lightly, tossing their heads, that upper part of the flower, upper part of the daffodils in sprightly dance. Sprightly means lively. L-I-C-S-P-R-I-G-H-T-L-Y. Sprightly means what? Sprightly means lively dance. See, how did the daffodils seem to the poet? The daffodils seemed to the poet as if they were tossing their heads in lively or cheerful dance or sprightly dance. That is the reason why the poet has compared the daffodils that bloomed by the side of a lake with the stars in the sky. Both were shining and dazzling. Both were also large in number. Both had stretched in never-ending line. That is the reason why the poet here compares the daffodils with the stars. Continues as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretch in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. Here they refers to the daffodils. And where did they stretch? They stretch along the margin. Margin means border of a bay. B-A-Y, bay means lake. And how many daffodils could he see at a glance or in one view? In one view, the poet could see 10,000 daffodils. 10,000, he didn't count. It was his imagination. He thought. And what did he think? He thought that he could see 10,000 daffodils at a glance. And what were they doing? They were tossing their upper part or their heads in sprightly or cheerful or lively dance. The remaining two stanzas we will go through in our next class. Thank you.